Salutations, my fellow dudes and dudettes, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Last time, after defeating the genie in the bottom grotto, we returned Bow Wow to its rightful owner. Got a kiss for it. I guess that's a reward, if you can call it that. We collected a whole bunch of goodies, and we actually showed off the chamber dungeon last time. Today we're going to be heading towards our next destination, which is Camelot Castle. I know it's been a while since I recorded, so I should probably just get into explaining that real quick. I lost my flash drive. I know it's very dumb of me to do, but that's what happened. Also, I came here to purchase the 200 rupees. Assuming you haven't already, buy the shovel at this point. You're not going to need it, like, at least during this part that I'm recording, but you are going to need it after your errands are done for what we're about to do next. But, yeah, I lost the flash drive that I was using to record my footage. Yeah, that's very irresponsible of me. I know. Not gonna harp on it too much. I got the smart idea to get another one, and just to create a duplicate file for everything I record on my desktop. I probably should have been doing this to think right from the get-go, but hindsight. Should have had it back then. Or maybe it's not hindsight. Whatever. Anyway, you might have also noticed we were able to purchase bombs from the shopkeep. The bombs don't become available until after Bottom Grotto, so you can't preemptively get these earlier. Like, as soon as you complete the first dungeon, because we're actually going to be visiting that during this part. Because you probably notice a crack in the wall in that dungeon, but that's later. Hopefully the mic did not pick that up. Alright, so we can't get into we can't get into Camelot Castle through the entrance, so we're gonna have to take a back way. If you have not done the trading sequence at all, I highly recommend you do so. Because you need the bananas at this point in order to progress. So I'll just give you a rundown of what you need, since it's been a while anyways. And plus, if you've been strictly playing from point A to point B and didn't know you needed this item, then I'll just explain that real quick. So the first item is the Yoshi Doll. You get it from the trendy crane game in the shop. In the crane game in Mabe Village. You bring it to there's this excuse me. After you get the Yoshi Doll, there's this house at the north part of the village where there's two doors, and you give it to the woman inside there. She will give you a bow or a ribbon, whatever you want to call it. You bring this ribbon to where the giant chain Chomp is. There's a small little hut right next to the house where a smaller chain Chomp called Chow Chow is. You give the ribbon to her, she will give you dog food. If you go back to the beach and head to the right side, you should eventually find a house with an alligator in it. Oh no, this island, Cajon Island is weird. And you give the canned food to the alligator, he will give you the bananas. And then you bring the bananas to that monkey. Now, the reason why we're here is to acquire these golden leaves. There's a man we were supposed to talk to earlier, but as I accidentally found out, well, not accidentally, unintentionally. As I unintentionally found out, you could actually get the golden leaves before you're told to. So, I guess that's what we're doing. Now, unfortunately, this crow right here won't come from its tree because, I don't know, I guess it's lazy or something. So we're gonna get its attention by throwing this rock at it. And we're gonna smack it with our sword a couple times. And we should be good. And this will allow us to acquire our second golden leaf. And now we can enter the main part. We can actually enter the castle itself now. I believe those are called anti-fairies. As I'm going to show off here, if you sprinkle some magic dust on them, you can get yourself a fairy. In case your bottle is empty, assuming you have the one I have from fishing in Mabe Village, you can put your fairy inside there. Again, keep in mind the fairy does not revive you. This still acts like the original Link's Awakening, where you have where you can't be revived by a fairy. You're gonna have to preemptively use it when you're low on health. It does heal a good portion. I want to say 6 hearts. Alright, now before we go up those stairs, you want to hit this switch. Because this will open the entrance to Camelot Castle, so when we're done here, we can just exit through the main entrance. Very ominous music this place has. Alright, there are 2 cracks in the wall in the shape of these enemies we've been fighting. I want to break the left one because this one has our next golden leaf. If you break the other one, it won't do anything. You'll just have to get rid of the dude. I want to say those are the considered dark nuts, but because they pretty much fight the same way as all the other sword enemies with sword and shields, I'm not sure if calling them dark nuts would be appropriate. Alright, now you might have noticed the little bottle shape on the door. If you try as you might, you can't just simply walk through it or break it with your sword. You have to throw a bottle at it. Now this guy is actually very tough to avoid, at least from my understanding. Basically what you want to do is you want to jump right as he's about to throw his little mace, or ball and chain, whatever you want to call it, and you can avoid damage pretty easily. Just be careful because he does a good amount of damage. I believe he takes half a heart. And if you haven't been going out of your way for heart containers, that might be a bit dangerous for you. Or like heart pieces. Alright, but now that we acquired all 5 golden leaves, we can leave Camelot Castle now. But before we actually do that, before we actually give our golden leaves to the person that told us to go do it, even though we haven't met him or her yet, it's a guy. We're gonna be using the rest of this part to just acquire a bunch of neat stuff. Now this house is called the Secret Seashell House. Now you might have noticed that we've been acquiring a lot of secret seashells. This is where you would bring them to, because as you fill up this little gauge that you see on screen here, you'll gain rewards depending on the amount of secret seashells you've acquired. And as the little voice in our head just said, if we fill it up completely, we can get a sword upgrade. Alright, so for our first batch of secret seashells, you get a heart piece. I believe that is for 5 heart secret seashells. Also, speaking of secret seashells, there's one right here. Cut the grass right next to the house, and there you go. And again, this is primarily going to be a lot of cleanup, so I apologize if not a whole lot happens in here besides Camelot Castle. I think previously I recorded Camelot Castle as just its own part and the cleanup as another. I'm sort of just combining the two now, just to speed things along. Not to mention, it's been a while since I uploaded anything, so I figured I'd make this a beefer. Another secret shell here. Go inside this cave. We're gonna use our bombs. Get this crack in the wall here. Be careful when going in that room, because 9 times out of 10 you'll just instantly fall because you didn't see that pit there, or you forgot it's there. You think they would give you a little more room to get through that? I don't know. It's really weird. Anyway, once you exit the cave, there's going to be an owl statue above us. Once we get rid of these flying octoroks. Well, they're not exactly flying, they're sort of jumping. Around here, secrets are nigh. And by that I mean, there's a secret seashell buried underground. I'm gonna twist my tongue saying this so many times, aren't I? Unfortunately, no one's selling seashells by the seashore this time. We're gonna have to find these on our own. Watch out for those guys. They do a little more damage than the typical moblins. The choo-choos, you can use the magic powder on them, and there's another secret cheese. See, I'm doing it already. You can use magic powder on them, they'll become vulnerable. Lift up this rock, and we get a little warp panel. Okay, I haven't actually gone over this, so I guess I should now. Throughout Koholint Island, you'll find these little warp panels that allow you to warp to any other warp panel you've unlocked. In the original game, it did this too. Oh, real quick. Taryn wants to borrow that stick we got from the monkey earlier. Taryn, I don't think that's a good idea. Insert, Wicker Man scene here, or just the voice clip. I'm not going to, but you can picture it in your head if you want. Anyway, we got the honeycomb. Give me like the cereal. And get another secret seashell. Blah! Right underneath where we blew up that giant skull head earlier. And back in the mysterious forest. Right where this moblin, shielded moblin is. In the middle of this flower patch. There's another secret seashell. Oh my gosh. But anyways, in the original game, the warp panels worked a little bit differently. In the original game, you didn't get to choose where you would warp to. If you had more than 2 warps unlocked, I think what it would do is it would warp you to the next corresponding one, how they have it set up in the game's programming. So, like, for example, like, you would go to Mabe Village first, and then you would warp to where Dabe's shack would be. Well, in the original game, it wasn't Dabe's shack. It was actually a camera shop where you could take pictures. Also, another secret seashell. I'll be talking about that photography thing a little more, a little bit later, where it's more relevant. After the next dungeon, to be more exact. And once we go over here, lift up this rock after killing that poor mob with a rock. We got another secret seashell. Woo! I'm getting better at saying it. But yeah, I think that's a really nice change for this remake. I can actually choose where I can warp to, because once you unlock all or if not most of the warps in this game, it can be kind of tedious to go in and out of warps over and over again, because it's not taking you to the one you need to. It's like the equivalent of riding a bus. It's like the equivalent of riding a bus, and there's not a lot of passengers on the bus besides you, and the guy keeps stopping at bus stops anyway because, or girl, whoever's driving, like they keep stopping at these bus stops because of the schedule. I remember whenever I was going from either Philly to Reading and Reading back to Philly, when I was still in Job Corps, I remember the bus making that one needless stop at this one place, and just sort of chilling there for how long, despite the fact that there's nobody showing up to get on the bus. It's like, you could have just kept going, but no, you insist on wasting my time, so I'm just gonna sit here for like half an hour longer now. Thanks. It's like, you know nobody's there. Just keep going. Unless if they do it to cater towards how their schedule is set up. I'm not a bus driver. I don't know. There, so now that we managed to get that heart piece, there's not much left to do now, but to come over here. We got some new enemies over here. They're called Tektites. They jump around, and that's kind of it. They just jump. I believe there's a stronger variant of it later in the game, but I do not recall. Got another war panel. That's 5 now. What you want to do here is pick a bomb, throw it in this hole, and get another secret seashell. Woo! And then we're going to warp back to the Seashell Mansion, because after we've acquired a good amount, I think it's in our best interest to visit it again, because we've met the next quota. So let's see our next reward. And I believe this reward wasn't present in the original, so that's cool. What's funny is that sometimes when you meet the quota for secret seashells, you just get another secret seashell for your troubles. Alright, now this allows you to detect the seashells. Oh my gosh, it's getting tiring saying that, isn't it? But this will allow you to detect secret seashells as you explore the island in its entirety. So, assuming you don't want to use this as a guide to find them all, as you progress through the game, the secret seashell will, the sensor will pick up on the shells as you get further, as you explore more and more of the island. And thankfully, this game has this neat little feature where you can mark places on your map in case you're not sure how to get the secret seashell in question, or you just don't have the means to do so. You can just come back to it and visit it whenever you want. But that's gonna wrap it up for this part. Again, I apologize for the waits. That I don't know why I took forever to have the obvious idea to just create a backup file on my desktop. So forgive me for that. Anyways, next time on The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, we're going to be doing the next dungeon. So until then, I got a juice.